little follow-up action for you.
But first at 6, for almost 2 years, the public never knew about this disturbing abuse of force. A Glendale officer lying about a traffic stop and then kicking and tasering a handcuffed man in the groin. Then we got this video. After our reports, former officer Matthew Schneider was charged with multiple felonies.
Oh, so he was charged with multiple felonies. If you and I get charged with multiple felonies, they prosecute us.
And now we finally know his fate. He just pleaded guilty to a much lesser crime. Here's ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biscobing.
In the year 2002, I was no-knock raided by the Chief of Police, Michael Moore, of LAPD with an entire SWAT team, twice in the same month. Since that date, I began studying the history of America and constitutional law. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. Over the past couple years, what I've done is I've been able to devise a system, understanding that the police have created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that they use to arrest you. I've also created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols for you to follow that gives you back the power when you're forced to interact with these jackboot thug pigs. It has become a tyrannical jackboot thug police state, prison state, death state. I will win the governorship and I will change the policies from the top down.
The plea deal was for a single disorderly conduct charge. Now that's a misdemeanor. And
So the cop can attack him, tase him in the nuts, put his woman in torture cuffs, beat up his friends, arrest them, put them in a dungeon, and the cop is charged with a singular disorderly conduct charge. Let's listen to Dave Biscobing here.
now that's a misdemeanor. And in this case, the judge decided there would be no jail and no probation.
No jail and no probation. He tried to break his arm. He tasered him in the nuts, and the cop gets nothing.
Just a small fine.
Thank you. Please be seated.
It's the sentencing hearing for former officer Matthew Schneider. This grainy video from the courtroom's video system. The sentencing comes 5 years after Schneider lied about seeing a blinker violation and then repeatedly tasered Johnny Wheatcroft. He kicked him twice while handcuffed and then pulled down his pants and stunned him. Schneider accepted a plea deal from the Arizona Attorney General's office, and this is what he told the judge ahead of his sentencing.
Your Honor, I am standing before the court today as something in a million years that I would have never dreamed I'd be, a convicted criminal.
No, you absolutely are a criminal. You're absolutely a jackboot thug pig. I'm going to put him up on my community tab. And I don't know, is he still a pig? He's a convicted criminal. Is he still a pig, though? I'm not sure if he's still a pig or not. Remember, the pig license, the peace officer's license at the pig signs, they can retire, be fired, be charged criminally. The pig license is good for 5 years. That means he's going to do his probation for disorderly conduct. He gets off of probation 2 years, a year, whatever it is. And then the peace officer's standards and training certificate that he got and magically becomes a law enforcer after peace officer standard of training, then that's good for 5 years. So now he's already done his probation. He already went through his restitution phase, which is nothing. And then he still has his peace officer's license. He can go be a law enforcer somewhere else. That's how it works.
As you know, I come from a law enforcement family. It's hard to describe the shame I felt telling the people who raised me and were excellent role models that I'd be pleading guilty today. It was even harder when I had to tell my kids. I accept full responsibility for my actions on July 26, 2017. I tried to do my absolute best as a police officer and a human being that day, and it wasn't good enough.
Hey, get in front of the car right now. Get in front of the car. Come on, you're all right.
Judge Patricia Starr expressed sympathy for Schneider.
You suffered for the last 5.5 years the consequences of what happened. Your family has suffered the consequences of what happened.
You want it again? Shut your mouth!
Oh, he sounds like such a victim, doesn't he?
Done around with you!
Here's a timeline of the case. The crime, July 2017.
You see that? July 2017, they hid the body cam for 2 years.
Nearly 2 years later, we publicly exposed the video in February 2019. Former Governor Doug Ducey called for a new investigation, but criminal charges would not come until 2021. And before that, Schneider forfeited his certification, and Glendale approved an accidental disability claim, allowing him to retire with a pension and benefits.
What not a lot of people do is you picked yourself up, you found something else.
Oh God, I would like to see her face. You know what? If anybody can find out who this judge is, I will report to her. I will go and I will bring my camera and a microphone and I will report her. And I will say, Judge, you gave that cop absolute leniency and you said that he suffered, Judge. Can you explain to the audience exactly what you're talking about? Because it looks like he got away with it and you gave him nothing. God.
And you're now excelling at that. So I would see no purpose whatsoever to put you on probation. I see what's happened in the last 5.5 years and the loss of your career as a very severe punishment that's already happened to you.
Schneider was originally facing 3 felony aggravated assault charges. Again, his plea deal.
Wow. 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 No jail time and $100? Hey, Schneider, if I find you on the street and I beat the holy shit out of you, I'll just pay a $115 fine. If I use a weapon to tase you in the nuts, $115 fine for me, no need for probation. Chille beat the shit out of Schneider, but he just gets a $115 fine and probation. No probation. No probation. $115 fine. You know what makes me the most mad though? This is what makes me the most mad.
So I would see no purpose whatsoever.
No purpose whatsoever to put someone on probation who attacked another person and tased them in the nuts.
To put you on probation.
Who is this judge? Can we find out who this judge is? Because anybody find out who the judge is?
I see what's happened in the last 5.5 years and the loss of your career as a very severe punishment. That's
You don't get to be a pig anymore and that's a severe punishment? What a load of shit. What a load of shit.
Already happened to you.
Schneider was originally facing 3 felony aggravated assault charges. Again, his plea deal is for a single misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge. No jail, no probation. But Judge Starr did order Schneider to pay fines and fees, totaling $115.
And that's going to be my sentence. I think it's time for everybody to move on. I have no doubt that you're going to continue to have a huge impact in your community just as you have.
Yeah, he had a huge impact as being a jackboot thug pig tyrant. Patricia Starr is up for re-election. Can anybody find out where her campaign is, where she's located? I'm going to go to her and I'm going to ask her on camera what she did. I'm going to play this tape wherever she's campaigning. Arizona's not far from me in California or Nevada.
Years.
Now, the victim and his family did sue. A settlement has been reached, but has not been officially finalized. So far, the terms are confidential. We're still working to get more information about how much this will cost taxpayers. I'm investigator Dave Biskobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
You can see all of Dave's award-winning coverage on this case at abc15.com/abuse of force.
We're living in just the worst. This is just the worst. This is literally the worst situation. Like we're living in absolute tyrannical dystopian garbage. This is the Trifold that I sell on my website. And I'm going to read over with you guys a little bit. You have to say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I don't answer questions. Don't ask me where I'm coming from, where I'm going, where I've been, if I've been drinking. Everything I need to provide is in the slip below. Revoke consent, U.S. versus Williams. I give consent and I can revoke it. While filming, if you know the cop is going to search your car and you initially give consent, you can revoke that consent moments later. However, you must be unequivocal, clearly stating I gave consent and now I revoke consent. Stop searching my car. By law, if you give consent, you can revoke it. You can't park on the highway. Say you pull over to film the cops. Right to stop is fundamental. Constitutionally, my right to stop is inherent in my right to travel. Your state statute or ordinance is unconstitutional. I stopped here to conduct my legitimate business affairs. Fact. Travel is also the right to stop along the way for a purpose. My incident to travel. Learn the law. There's your Fifth Amendment there. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas.